Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
2-1. Pasquantino drills it deep to straightaway right.
Yeah, what they're doing is ridiculous, and it's an honor to play behind them every single night. It's becoming an expectation for those guys to just be ridiculous every night. But we know that as an offense, we need to do a better job of putting more runs up and not to put the pressure on all the pitchers all the time to keep these games low scoring.
Big week for us. You know, we had the good inning, and we finally found a way to win a baseball game, and we need to carry that over into this week. And it's not going to be easy. You know, Cali's playing really, really well, and, you know, they're back in the rankings and feeling good about themselves.
Great that Hayes High, two mammoth matchups for not only the WAC title, likely, but certainly 5A West seeding, which right now Great Bend is in first place in 5A West.
Listen, as long as he's learned from it, that's it. That's the important part of it. And, you know, we'll take it from there and see what takes place. But right now we're just kind of gathering everything and trying to make sure we have all the bases covered.
Yeah, the Chiefs have two guys evenly graded, a wide receiver and an offensive tackle, and it comes time for them to pick. I think the tackle might be the more wise move, just because those guys are harder to find. But that also depends on where you think the board is going with your next pick, and can you find a receiver that you really like?
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark.
Now to McDavid, in over the line. McDavid looking to that, waiting, the pass, scores! Hyman with the goal! McDavid with the assist! That's 100 on the season!
Holy buckets, Leotis. Welcome to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Welcome in, Tuesday show. Steve Webster along with Mike Corson, Aaron Clark, and Mike Hesher as we get ready to navigate our Tuesday show. Some programming notes here today. Okay, there's no Sports Day tomorrow. That's because we have Royals baseball coming on at 12:30 tomorrow. So, Royals will be there. Then we'll have some NBA basketball for you tomorrow night. A doubleheader of the NBA playoffs, or play-in. Miami will be at Philadelphia, and Atlanta then will play Chicago in the second game. The NBA play-in begins tonight with the LA Lakers at New Orleans and Golden State at Sacramento. Okay, NBA boys, how's this thing work?
So talking about the play-in?
Yes.
So the 8th, 9th, or I think it's the 8th, 9th, and 10th seeds are all in the play-in. The 8 and the 9, or it might be 8, 9, 10, or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 7, 8, 9, 10, my bad, because I need 4 seeds there, sorry. So the 7 and the 8th seed play each other, and then whoever wins that game becomes the 7th seed, so they move on to take on the 2 seed. When then the 9 and the 10 seed play, they take on the winner of that, or the loser of that 7 and 8 matchup. Winner of that becomes the 8th seed.
Okay.
So blah, 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 what I heard was, if we put more teams in and let them play more games, we'll make more money.
To hold more water if the Miami Heat hadn't made it to the NBA Finals as a play-in team last year. But
okay, so NBA basketball for you coming up tomorrow. Let's see, I had another note here. Oh, on the show today, we're going to talk to Cole Reif, talk a little bit about everything. No Barton softball coach Carson DeBose. She's ill, so we're going to move her to Thursday. She'll be in on Thursday's show, and we've had to have a audible, right, for high school on the Panther Prowl today. We're going to be talking with Carrie Minton, who is going to be available because their game with Hayes today postponed due to wind.
Yeah, we might have it mild out here compared to what's going on out west, so they made the decision, so they'll play tomorrow and Thursday.
Okay, also on Thursday's show, we've got a new wrestling coach that we're going to be talking to. So
Lars Luters.
Lars Luters. This is an interesting guy.
No kidding. I believe
this guy was a heck of a collegiate wrestler. He's been at Salinas Central. He's 5A Coach of the Year. He's also been at Dodge City. He was at Bishop Carroll. An All-American wrestler out for the Western State Mountaineers. Yeah, if you can wrestle at 8,000 feet of elevation, man, it's got to be easy coming down here to try to do that here. So we'll talk to him on Thursday. So looking forward to that.
Got a name like Lars. You got the cauliflower here. Looks good.
Did you call out that here on the radio? You want me to ask him about that Thursday?
Oh,
Okay.
I do believe it's a token of they like it.
I just think I'm excited to get a guy with a little bit of a whack wrestling experience in there. A lot of times, Garden and Dodge have had some great wrestling teams to go up with the Panthers, and he's going to know all about that wrestling scene out in western Kansas.
Okay, so we've got a lot of things to going on here at the radio station. Let's get to our sounds the past 24 hours or so. Call on KVGB last night. Vinny Pasquantino hitting a solo home run to right center. That came in the top of the fourth inning. KC goes up 1-0. They win the game 2-0. The Royals continue to get great pitching. Seth Lugo, 7 innings, 4 hits. That was his third straight win. Royals pitchers have been excellent. Pasquantino knows the bats need to be better. Whatever they need right now, they're getting at Kansas City. Thank goodness for those Chicago White Sox. They're 5-0 against the White Sox this year, and Kansas City 11-6 overall. They will play Game 2 of that series against the White Sox tonight. Coverage at 6 here on KVGB, and then they'll wrap up the series tomorrow at 12:30.
At Pasquantino, really cold start. Nobody hits off Edwin Diaz. He had the home run against him, comes back, hits one against Chicago. But if we can get everybody to sign a petition, we can get Commissioner Manfred. Just schedule the White Sox Royals all season.
Just have an alternating series, Chicago and Kansas City. The fans will love it.
Well, yeah, you can have a weighted schedule. If you only won 56 games the year before, you get to play the White Sox and Royals 25 times each the following season.
It's similar to how the NFL schedules their stuff. The loser, like the fourth place division, plays the other fourth place in the division teams.
The schedule's always been a joke anyway. They went interleague, so one division will play the other division. When those playoff matchups come down to a single game or two, and then you got stuck playing the loaded division in the NL on the NL side, it's a huge difference. So it's never
made
been
a big
equal.
They adjusted that. I mean, it used to be you played. I mean, just I think 2 years ago that you played the teams in your division 19 times each, which goes back to your point, which I can see. I mean, I think it'd be really fair for the Royals to do that this year. Play 19 games against the White Sox.
And so
Tigers.
You could argue Chicago's the worst team in the league with just 2 wins, but they've been playing quality competition in those Kansas City Royals.
I was in the powerhouse that is the AL Central.
Sounds like good news with Salvador Perez, the MRI, a mild groin strain. We had Kevin Sapezi on Ask the Expert show this morning. That's the first question I asked him, man. How's Salvi, man? What's a grade 1 groin strain? It's a big muscle. But he was ready to go yesterday. He wanted to play. So good news for the Royals, and, of course, good news for the Iuka Hustlers.
Let him keep swinging.
He doesn't have to play in the field, but, just like get him some at-bats. So let's see if he's back in the lineup tonight for the Royals. Barton baseball, they're playing at 2 o'clock this afternoon with a west wind. Might be a good day to be a left-hander out at Lawson Biggs Field. The windy days, so that'll be an interesting one. Single 9-inning game against Cowley, who's back in the top 20 poll this week. And see if Barton baseball can get going a little bit. They've been stumbling here the last 2 weeks. They want to finish in the top 4 of the Jayhawk West, so you would host one of those best-of-3 first-round series when you get to the Region 6 playoffs. They will take on Coffeyville on Thursday and then go to Coffeyville on Saturday.
Did you know the wind does not assist fly balls? It just creates less drag when it's at the back. So it's not actually pushing it, it's just not dragging it down as much.
Okay.
It always feels like it's pushing it.
Okay, you get a baseball. We'll go out and we'll just shoot it straight up in the air with no spin on it, and it'll come straight down, right? Is that what you're telling me?
But there is spin on it. They spin them all. You might be onto something. But when they do hit it off the bat and it's got the propulsion behind it and the spin, they say...
What if you're hitting into the wind?
It's creating more drag, which is what brings it down.
Okay, so the wind blowing out at 35 to 40 is not going to affect that ball going out of the ballpark.
It will, but it's not lifting it. It's just less drag.
Sounds more like the wind being with you doesn't necessarily give you a big boost, but the wind being against you absolutely hinders you a lot.
So would you, Mike Corson, rather bat with the wind at your back?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, very good. That's just.
But also, they say the ball rises when it comes in. No, it's physically impossible. It just looks that way.
Oh no, you can throw a rise ball.
In softball. Because you got an underhand
you can just
motion.
throw down, man, and that spin thing, man, it just spins it up, man. That's what reason it can go up in the air. Okay, so Barton with their baseball series. Again, the Barton softball news. Again, Carson DeBose will join us on Thursday. Their game's out at Northwest Tech on Saturday. They've been moved to Friday. They're expecting a lot of moisture over the weekend. We could see that adjustment made with Barton baseball as well. Connor Nickel on the show last week talking about the big matchup that was supposed to happen today. Now will happen today or tomorrow, and then Thursday here in Great Bend, tomorrow in Hayes as the two teams battle. It's for the WAC title. That's good, but man, Great Bend's sitting good in the 5A West standings right now for Sub-State.
Yeah, I didn't know because you don't always do a research on the teams. You just kind of write them up. Derby only had 2 losses on the year now, and that's one to Bishop Carroll, who I think's won about 5-6 straight titles, and Great Bend. And then Maize South has 2 losses on the year to Maize and Bishop Carroll. So that little 4-game set the Lady Panthers played out at Dodge was actually really loaded.
Huge. That was a big win for confidence-wise, Go. And did you say that yesterday? May have been their biggest win they've had?
I was thinking it today,
yeah.
but maybe you did.
Who was I talking to? Yeah, okay, anyway.
I just think they should.
It was Jim Mizunas that said that, yeah.
I just think they should turn it into a doubleheader, but keep it one at Hayes, one at Great Bend. Just have them play both games on Thursday. Play one in Great Bend, turn around, head to Hayes for game 2.
Well, isn't that what they're doing?
No, I mean in the same day.
Oh.
So, like on Thursday. Yeah, play 2 games, but have a little road trip in between.
Okay.
I'll let you pay the bills.
Okay, all right. That's a thought. Okay. All right, let's see. Other sounds. Great Bend baseball back at the road. Their game's still going on as far as I know. So they will play Emporia today before taking on either McPherson or Rose Hill. And you talk about a pretty tough schedule that the Great Bend Panthers have right now. Now, they'll play Emporia today. Emporia is not ranked. After that, well, Rose Hill is ranked currently. They are number 9 in 4A. McPherson is number 6 in Class 4A. Great Bend remained in the rankings this week. They just flip-flopped with Hayes. Great Bend was 8 I think Great Bend was 7 last week. Hayes was 8. Now Hayes goes to 8. Great Bend's at 9. But when you look at when they're playing at DeSoto this weekend, Spring Hill moved into the 5A rankings this week at number 10. St. Thomas Aquinas, who they'll play, is number 4. And then they'll get DeSoto, who's number 5. Well,
and I don't know what
tough
kind
schedule for the Panthers. They'll face some good competition this week for sure.
We didn't think maybe the Lady Panther basketball team got a ton of respect, so they popped in. I think this Panther baseball team, you split with Capon, and Capon fell in the rankings. Great Bend didn't. Then you get beat twice by Hayes and only flip-flop with them. So actually still getting quite a bit of respect from the other coaches.
Hayes still getting some love, too, because their losses last week, both to Clay Center. Clay Center's number 1 in Class 4A right now, the new poll that came out yesterday. Okay, Great Bend baseball. Okay, Adam Teicher, what will the Chiefs do with, well, first of all, Andy Reid talking about Rashee Rice, who is, it's getting a little deeper for him all the time. There are ramifications or things that happen for what you do. Rashee Rice and his former teammate at SMU, Teddy Knox, being sued in Texas over $1 million in actual damages, $10 million in punitive damages by 2 people who say they were injured in a 6-vehicle crash on March 30th in Dallas. I wonder if that attorney rode his bull all the way down to Dallas to get in on that money grab that's going on. The plaintiffs, Edward Petrovsky and Irina Gramova, alleged Rice and Knox deliberately raced their vehicles at speeds well beyond the posted limits and caused the 6-vehicle crash that led to their injuries. They claim injuries that include brain trauma, cuts to the face requiring stitches, bruises, disfigurement, and internal bleeding. asking for actual damages that include medical care, physical pain and suffering, loss of earning capacity, mental anguish, and property damage of $71,122.
I hit him harder than that.
It's stacking up. Andy Reid said, yeah, but, Rashid's still, with our virtual voluntary workouts that they're doing right now, just going over film and things. And just kind of I don't know what he's supposed to say, except, we'll just wait and see what happens.
It's a virtual workout. Did they put one up in the county jail? Do your push-ups.
Well, I don't think he's in jail. He's out.
Is
He's
he out? I like a bail,
he's
yeah.
at home. So Andy Reid just, whatever we can.
I just say it's such a privilege to play professional sports and make that kind of money. So you always believe in second chances, but I also want to see some hard repercussions on this one.
Rashee Rice, 23 years old. Woo! Well, hopefully he gets a chance to play again, but that's pretty good. I bet they'll want to for him to renegotiate his contract too, so he can get a little bit more cash coming their way. Caitlin Clark, let's see, the first pick. That was Commissioner. Who's the commissioner of the WNBA, Corson?
Kay Robbins.
Who's Kay Robbins?
I thought you were saying Kelly
Engelbert.
Well, since you wrote the story, there was
I was gonna
you
say-
got half of it right. Kathy
Engelbert.
Announcing that Caitlin Clark was the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft. Did you watch?
Did not.
Yep, neither did I. Just missed it. Was it on? Yeah, I'm sure it was somewhere. And on the ice last night, Connor McDavid joined an exclusive club. Call on 6:30 Ched. Is Ched a form of shad? 6:30 Ched, as Connor McDavid sets up Zach Hyman for a goal in the third period. That gave McDavid a 100 assist on the season. The Oilers beating the Sharks 9-2. So there's your hockey update. Oh, the Adam Teicher one. What the Chiefs will do with their first pick. It's going to be number 32 overall. That's the last one in the first round. So the Chiefs going in figure they want wide receiver, offensive tackle, or wide receivers easier to get than a good quality offensive lineman. Say if you're still a lineman you really like falls that far, you might take him. Of course, depends on where they pick in the next. They also have round number 60 or round 2, number 64. Kind of expect maybe the Chiefs try to move up a little bit. I don't know.
I expect the Chiefs to play it based on how it falls to them. They're kind of fall into it a lucky spot in this draft just because the two areas they have the biggest needs in, a wide receiver and offensive tackle, are arguably the two deepest positions in this draft. I think there could be a lot of quality tackles, more along the lines of maybe some project guys that you could get. There's guys from Oklahoma named Tyler Guyton or a guy out of BYU, Kingsley Sumatia. They both could use a little bit of polish. They're both kind of more run-blocking road graders and would need a little bit of refinement in the pass game. But if they're looking for more of a wide receiver, I think Oregon's Troy Franklin could do really well with Andy Reid. He's shown some ability to stretch the field really well, and I think he could give them a deep threat if that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what this Rashee Rice thing does.
That's kind of it.
But it's only another week, so, I mean, we will have all 3 days of the NFL draft here. The way it worked out with the schedule, Royals don't play next Thursday, so we'll have day 1 of the NFL draft. We'll start at 6, then we'll start at 5 on Friday because the Royals have a early game against Detroit at 11:30, and then we'll have Saturday's final day of the draft starting at 11, and then the Royals play baseball later on that afternoon in Detroit, but we'll be able to carry part of the Saturday draft, but they say that's where the draft is made, the 4, 5, and 6 picks. So
I love the third day of the draft. It's long. They started at like 11 a.m. because they have almost 200 picks to get through, but it is a lot of fun, and you never know what kind of gems people are going to find. Last year's rookie receiver set the all-time rookie mark, Puka Nacua. He was taken in the 5th round, so talent's everywhere.
You need to buy a house, you need to get a wife, and you need to get some kids. And then you won't have time to sit around on a Saturday afternoon watching rounds 4, 5, and 6 of the NFL draft.
Well, it's 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Oh, okay, I forgot.
That's even worse.
Oh. Okay.
Honey, bring me another beer. 6 rounds starting.
We're heading into the 7th round stretch.
You're either doing something that your lovely wife wants you to do, or you're out mowing so you won't have anything else to do as what she gives you to do.
Oh, there's always something else.
Oh, yeah, there is. So,
Honeydews.
there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. So Cole Reif's coming in next, and then Carrie Minton's going to be in, and then, yes, sir.
The White Rat. Whitey Herzog passed away this morning.
Did he now?
Yes, the White Rat. Former manager of the Royals and Cardinals.
Oh, yes. I'm very familiar with it.
Well,
I was not.
Figured you were, but yeah.
He's a legend on I-70
Really?
then.
Man.
92 or 93, I think it was.
Man, he was on both sides of the ice.
Yes, he was.
Of the I-70 series, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
That's too bad. Whitey Herzog's one of my favorite guys. Yeah, Whitey Ball. Okay, we're going to take a break. More of Sports Day coming up here. We have, it's brought to you in part by Equity Bank with 40 locations throughout Kansas. Find the one closest to you. Go to equitybank.com. Also, Venture Corporation reminding you to help a neighbor, shop local when you can, and by the Marby Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. We're going to chat a little bit with Cole Reif when we come back here on the program on a Tuesday here on KVGB.
Need to make a change? Get the latest devices at Next Tech Wireless. Right now, you can get up to $1,000 off a new phone, like the Samsung Galaxy S24 or the iPhone 15. Well, what are you waiting for? Make the switch now. Next Tech Wireless. Home on the range.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Zach Strite, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Introducing Ag Mechanics at Barton Community College in partnership with Case New Holland Top Tech. Hands-on training in areas like electrical, hydraulics, and diesel engines, with technicians gaining the knowledge and skills needed to start a career with CNH Level 1 training. Join this high-demand field at a CNH dealership in only 9 months. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at toptech.bartonccc.edu.
He's the voice of Hoisington High School football, the Barton County Cougars, and the king of the tweeter machine. It's Cole Reif on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Cole Reif joining us here on Sports Day, brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, and by Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor shop local when you can. What's going on in your world right now?
I was wondering. I'm always surprised when I still get the invite for the show, so I'm always tickled. So I appreciate it.
Well, no, we lock you into that Tuesday show. You've got a year-long contract, to come on here on the program. So.
When do you guys take your summer hiatus? When does that come up? Is that after the spring season?
Yeah, after. Well, it's usually at the end. Wait a second. There you go. Okay. Yeah.
The Tuesday after Memorial Day, right, is our last day?
Okay, so you go through the month of May. Okay.
Yes.
Right. We were going to end it at the end of May, but Mike Corson was so traumatized that we weren't going to get in the state track meet.
Good point.
So, I mean,
that's his Christmas.
This is his time to shine.
It's the only guy that I know that takes off work to go work something else in track related.
It's
it's good.
So track and field going on right now. This kind of comes up, and I know that it was nice that they recognized the indoor track team, the women, for winning their national championship.
Sure.
But that's kind of the way it gets sometimes. Okay, well, we won 58 of them, and then the men's basketball team wins one, and
right.
which is unfortunate, but
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think at this point that phrase can get attached to that, and you know, and I know Trevor has acknowledged that, and that's a sticky situation where in his position, you know, between cross country and, you know, track and field, you know, like you said, they have 58 of the 60 up there, but it's also, you know, I think, you know, Mike Johnson touched on it well at the trustees meeting where, you know, it's hard to, even if you wanted to get behind track and field, they don't have a home meet, you know, and but just with that, I mean, it's just one of those sports that's, you know, it's kind of a niche. I think, you know, each sport's, you know, wrestling's kind of a niche sports, you know, track and field's a niche sports. Baseball and softball have branched out more. They're beyond the niche. They're obviously, you know, one of the America's favorites, but from the college standpoint, unfortunately, you know, baseball and softball probably take a solid third behind football and basketball, you know, as far as where the talks are at. So, yeah, I mean, men's basketball is always going to be one of those priorities, you know, especially at the junior college level. You know, Barton had football. Obviously, that would be a story maker as well. But, yeah, I think when you see the support that, you know, the games get for basketball, I mean, I think it's only rightfully so that you honor that. Because not only do you want to honor the team, but you also kind of, like, the community's kind of waiting for it, too. You know, the community wants to do something. And you know, if baseball won a championship at Barton, you know, I'm sure they would have, you know, a certain, you know, baseball gathering where all the Barton baseball fans, which there are plenty of, and especially the alumni are really strong in those categories. So they would do something. And, you know, maybe Dave Shinnick does something for, you know, the track people, but there's just fewer numbers. There's fewer numbers as far as the support.
Well, yeah, if you're going out and watching these world-class athletes perform, you know, and say, oh, yeah, I want to meet them, want to be around them.
Well, I mean, you talk about national record that was just broken, you know, within this last week. I mean, and obviously there's school records that are going down on a yearly basis, you know, at Barton. So, yeah, you talk about if you want to see the top of the top that are going to be competing in Olympic trials and the Olympic Games, yeah, Barton track and field is that.
Jeremy Combs was in last Friday, and he's a good guy to talk to. You can pretty much ask him anything.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that Barton should be really excited about is as a guy that has been a veteran coach at the junior college level. He kind of gets it. He knows what's going on. But it seems like he doesn't have that itch to, you know, well, everybody's telling, you know, boy, maybe you ought to go and get a job or, you know, somewhere else. He said, no, I don't want to go be an assistant anywhere, you know. I'm comfortable in my own skin. That's kind of, those are Jay Herkelman-like comments, you know. I mean, you get your program going, and that's good news.
Yeah,
and I'm just happy he's happy.
People are moving right now. I mean, you talk about even moving up to that next level, if you will. I know Eastern Florida State, Coach Schulman, who Barton played in 2018 in the Elite Eight, he got a D1 coaching job, I think at UT Martin. Who else got a head coaching job? Well, the former Indian Hills coach, Hank Plonas, now the head coach at Western Kentucky. But, you know, other guys are moving out. I saw Indian Hills' current coach. He resigned, so he won't be there. So you talk about a big position that's open at Indian Hills. That'll be a coveted job at the JUCO level. Tommy DeSalm, Hutchinson, he resigned. So he's, I think he's originally from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. And I believe he's taken a high school coaching job down there in his hometown. So Tommy's stepping down. Obviously, Hutchinson, that's going to be a coveted job as well. Eric Nitchie, assistant coach. I mean, I would imagine he's going to be in that running, but you never want to assume as far as, you know, what coaching position is going to get what. So, yeah, there's going to be some big job openings coming open. But, you know, that's what I like about Combs, where he mentioned, you know, multiple times, I think even the first year he was hired, you know, like this is his KU.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, he's a junior college guy. I mean, he played at the JUCO level. You know, he's assistant at Pratt's. He was 14 years at Neosho, now 3 years at Barton. This is what he likes. And I will say, like, I heard one offer. I heard one school at the next level, if you will, is Division II that came after Combs. Never talked to Coach Combs about it, but, you know, I've heard that there's definitely some interest, and why not? I mean, when you take a team to win a national championship, you're gonna draw some eyes.
I just remember when Gary Garner won a championship, and of course that's going, you know, Fort Hays. Well, he'd been a former Division I coach, and, you know, I thought he'd kind of done that too. But then he went Southeast Missouri State, I guess, and he lasted like 2 years. He actually got him to the NCAA tournament, and then it went south and ended up getting fired, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about your ambition, what your ambition is.
And what makes you happy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Because, I mean, you even look at Steve Eck. You know, that was a guy that started out the junior college level. Then he went to a higher level and coached. I'm not going to speak for him, but, you know, obviously wanted to come back and then had, you know, big-time success at Hutchinson. But then also wanted to find even more probably happiness and then went back to the high school ranks and, you know, obviously won a state championship at Cape and Mount Carmel this past spring. So, and Barton's getting a Steve Eck disciple. So one of his players is going to be playing at Barton. Brooks Powers is going to be playing at Barton next year. So we got a Cape kid coming in next year.
Well, good. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's real good pedigree. I mean, you talk about getting some winning programs, and the kid from Andover will be coming in as well. So already you've seen some of those highly recruited Kansas players that'll be coming to Barton next year.
Yeah, and let's face it. I mean, you go and get, you know, everybody's going to go out and start, you know, finding the players all over the country, all over the world. But it's always nice to have those Hoosiers in state, isn't it?
Well, and I think we always talk about where, you know,
there's not that many of them. I mean,
right. And then you talk about players that, you know, trying to get them to buy in and understanding the history of Barton and like understanding the importance of like maybe this conference game. Okay, we're going out to Butler, guys. You know, and I always heard you talk about that, where, you know, like they're like, well, okay, whatever, coach, and then they get out there, and then once you play somebody once, then you can establish a rivalry. But for us fans and coaches, we know the history. So at least some of the Kansas players, and I'm not saying they're maybe religiously following junior college basketball, but they probably get it to an extent. Like they probably have at least some background of the Kansas junior college scene.
Okay, so does Coach have his recruiting class pretty much lined up already?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, at least not officially announced yet,
Okay.
as far as the official commits and signings. I think there's still going to be a lot of waves, and they got to replace a lot. I mean, that was a lot of sophomores. I mean, so we talked about Brent Moss and, you know, Drake Kendall. You know, if they can come back, that'd be a good starting piece. Lang Bull. But other than that, it was pretty much all sophomores. So they're going to have a lot of shoes to fill for next year.
So you have one loss on the season if you count the football and Barton men's basketball.
Two state championship game, yeah.
Okay.
State championship game, then Cali.
Okay.
It was a good year.
You're going to be kind of rusty post-game interviews with coaches who have dropped a game.
I ran into Coach Steiner for Hoisington over the weekend, and he was telling me we were talking about that. And I was like, yeah, it was a really good year. We were that close to winning a state championship game in football for Hoisington, and obviously what Barton basketball was able to do. And, you know, the women still won 20-plus games too. So, I mean, you talk about two really good programs at Barton every year that I've been involved with it. You know, that like a down year was maybe a couple games above 500. So, I mean, but for the most part, it's been 20-plus wins for each one of those programs. Hoisington, a down year, was 7-4, second round of the playoffs. So, I mean, this is it's been a pretty good location, I think, for sports in general. But yeah, Hoisington football and Barton basketball, it's been a pleasure.
Solid as always. Look at you go.
It's been easy. It makes my job a lot easier when they're sitting back there and winning. I don't mind. Like we've always said that. Like at this point, I just want to see good games.
Yeah.
Like I just want to see a good, entertaining game. Like if they win, sure, that's great. That's a huge bonus. But for the most part, man, I want to see entertaining games. Even when, you know, Barton or Hoisington's winning by 20 or 30 points, it's kind of like, you know, that's not an entertaining game. I want to see big time rivalries. I want to see big time matchups and big time outcomes. So that's the point of the game. And unfortunately, Barton didn't provide a whole lot of drama throughout the season when you're winning every game of the national tournament by 14.
You know, and you get those winning calls all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take those.
You mean you don't want that game where your team scores 35 points with 42 turnovers, and the team that beat them scored 42, and they had like 32 turnovers? That was a fun game.
I've seen those already. I've already gone through that. Now I'm on the downhill march.
All right. Thanks, Cole Reif, with us. We're going to talk Great Bend Panther softball. They were scheduled to play at Hayes today, but, well, the wind wiped that out, so their big series with Hayes High will be pushed to Wednesday in Hayes. Then they'll play a doubleheader here tomorrow, but Kerry Minton will be talking with Mike Corson. That's next here on Sports Day.
From the Mail Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Extend the life of your equipment with the best warranty program and risk management tool in the agriculture industry. The Cenex Total Protection Plan covers new and used equipment. Receive up to 10 years or 10,000 hours of engine coverage when you use Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster Premium Diesel Fuel and synthetic lubricants. With no deductible, the Cenex Total Protection Plan provides unmatched coverage to give you the power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
I had a young gal come in the other day who has been having chronic back pain. Did a session just helping her to understand her pain, not understanding her back, but teaching her how her nervous system works. And just that knowledge just calmed her down so much. She came back in this morning, huge smile on her face, and she was so excited to learn more. It was a blast.
Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by kind of a special guest, normally our Wednesday guest, but some things happened, so we got Lady Panther softball coach Carrie Minton in today. You were supposed to be in Hayes today. What happened?
Well, they decided it was a little too windy to play today, so we bumped it to tomorrow. So hopefully the weather will be a little bit better. Softball weather tomorrow.
Maybe. It's Kansas
Maybe.
in spring. Let's go back to Dodge City. Just a lot's happened. What, did you guys have 7 games in a week?
We had 7 games.
So
5 since we talked last week.
Yeah, so 4 of those in Dodge City. Is this a new thing? Obviously, this year, Great Bend can play, or teams around the state can play 26 games. Is that kind of how these things developed?
Yeah, that's where this last weekend kind of came out of that Keisha ruling where we could add 6 games to our schedule, for varsity schedule. Dodge City decided to try and put together a round-robin tournament, taking 4 WAC teams, grabbed a handful of teams out of Wichita, and it worked out really well. I mean, allowed all of us and all of them to see some different softball.
How do coaches use those extra 6 games? Like, I'm talking to Jeff Langers the other day, and I said, man, you've been at this a while. How are you in the record books? He said, no, Kansas doesn't play as many games as other states, so nationally he's not even close.
Yeah.
What does it do for the kids to have those extra 6 games?
No, it's nice. It's great. It's a great opportunity for us. It's allowed us to see 5 different teams that we normally wouldn't see. We added the doubleheader with Pratt at the beginning of the season. And then, as I mentioned, the 4 teams that we were able to see this weekend. So it just gives you an opportunity to play. It's a short window, the spring season. So adding in 3 extra dates, it's tough, especially now, like when, days like today happen and you try to reschedule things. It's tough. You kind of got to make a go of things or be lucky in the rescheduling part.
So we'll go back to the bad news, which was Friday, but May South comes in there with 2 losses. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Powerhouse, Bishop Carroll, and then one to Mays. Girls didn't seem intimidated to score 2 early runs, kind of what happened. Ends up being 10-3, but showed right off the bat that, hey, we're going to compete with these guys.
Yeah, we went into Friday. We actually went into the weekend knowing that we were going to see some great competition coming out. Records don't mean a whole lot when those teams beat up on each other week in, week out. So, we actually saw Goddard Eisenhower first game out the gate Friday. And that one, both of those games that you just mentioned on Friday, Goddard Eisenhower and Mays South, we had 1 bad inning in both of those games that cost us. And we were tied with Goddard Eisenhower 1-1 going into the top of the 6th, and had a couple of errors and let it slip away. I think we gave up. I was trying to look. We gave up. I want to say 4 runs. I'd have to go back and look. We gave up a handful of runs there against Eisenhower. there at the end of the game. And then Mays South, as you mentioned, we gave up 6 runs in the third against Mays South. That was that one, or else it's a 4-3 ball game. So, we knew we were going to have to be at the top of our game, not to make excuses. We had quite a few kids that weren't feeling 100%, and so we were doing the best we could with what we had, and they fought hard.
Talking to Lady Panther softball coach Carrie Minton, was that an overnight stay since it was only 90 minutes?
Yes, it was, because we were there Thursday for a single game against Dodge, and then turned around and went back Friday, and we stayed Friday night to play Saturday.
And it was interesting because you guys played pretty late Friday and then pretty early Saturday morning.
Yes.
What was obviously it's not a team that's lost a whole lot this year. Pretty good spirits. Hey, we're going to take 2 tomorrow going into that Saturday?
Yeah, we had a quick little chat, after we finished up Friday night, taking, back-to-back losses against 2 good teams. We felt like we probably should have got the Eisenhower game, but, looking ahead, we know where we sit with them. We had, like I mentioned, a little chat, and we just said, make or break, make this, make you better. And the girls turned around, and I mean, they bounced back big way Saturday morning. So that was great to see.
That was Derby?
Yes, first thing in the morning, Saturday morning.
So let's set that one up. Derby comes in with only 1 loss. They split with Bishop Carroll. It's 4-4 into the 7th, or 6-6 into the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Couple walks have been big for you all year. Any mindset that just get on base, or was there instruction like she's a little bit errant, let's wait her out?
Yeah, they had switched pitchers. I think 2 innings back, I want to say in the 5th, they had switched pitchers, and so we had hit the ball a little bit. And going into the 7th, we were right in the middle of our lineup, and in Denver, I think it was Denver, did a great job, got on base, followed up by I want to say Chayla. I think Chayla followed it up, got on, and when we I'm trying to think of who put the ball in play. Camden, I think, put the ball in play eventually to score those 2 runs to go ahead. And so it was really exciting. The girls did a great job of running the bases.
And we haven't had Camden in, but we've had some of those other younger girls. She's another one of those kids that's just kind of blistering at the plate, steps up in a pressure situation, and obviously she had some varsity high-level experience at state. How about your young kids continuing to do that?
Yeah, and that's been, tremendous for our older kids to have these younger girls, walk in and contribute, and they have had a great experience working together. They've come together really well as a team, and I think everybody was really confident. Camden at that point, I think, was maybe 3 for 3 already on the day when she came up to the plate there in the 7th. And I have to mention, we had courtesy ran for Chayla, so we had Denver on 3rd and Braylon Turner on 2nd. And when Camden put that ball in play, we knew we were scoring 1, but I don't think anybody in the stadium knew that Braylon was going to be coming around hard, and Braylon gave us kind of that extra little bit of cushion for the 2-run lead.
So I put single because the little app said single, but it said single to shortstop, and then it scores 2 runs. Was it just a hard hit ball through shortstop?
No, she actually fielded it. She kind of bobbled it a little bit, and then she made the throw. And the first baseman, I can't remember exactly. I'd have to go back and I looked, but the film isn't great. She kind of bobbled it a little bit, and I think it may have fallen out of her glove there. And so, Braylon, there was just they were so hesitant and unsure on the defensive side of things, and Braylon was just. She was going to get it, so.
Now, wait a minute. Who's the third base coach?
That would be me.
That's what waving those arms.
Yeah, let's go. Might as well.
Talking to Lady Panther softball coach Carrie Minton. Into the final game, 18-3, you can say, well, we have no idea but what those Wichita teams are like. It's a 6A team. Wichita Northwest is always athletic. I believe they beat the other WAC schools pretty handily, so nothing to scoff at taking the win against Derby and then following it up with a run rule.
Yeah. And we talked about that weekend, it kind of just the whole in its entirety, Thursday, Friday, Saturday was kind of a little bit of a roller coaster. We walk in on Friday, we're 11-1, we lose 2. We come up Saturday morning, we beat Derby. And, we were a little afraid as coaching staff that maybe all of a sudden we would kind of take, our foot off the gas a little bit going into that Northwest game. But obviously that was not the case. They pounded out some hits, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so Alyssa McCauley with a home run, Kaya Bear 4 for 4 with 3 doubles, Paige Sexton a double single, a walk. Earlier in the week, since she was, we talked about it last week, seems like she's getting 1 or 2 walks a game. So obviously today's was postponed, but you're going to Hayes tomorrow for a single game. Then you got them right back at home Thursday. How important, especially now with no day in between, to take some momentum tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that was, we would have liked to have gotten that game in today just so that way we could kind of regroup on Wednesday, go back over things before we go into that doubleheader. But, the fortunate thing, I guess, is that they're in the same boat that we are. So not a lot of time to go over much after tomorrow's game. But, we're looking, these games are really important. Our girls really want to, make a statement in the WAC. And, this week and next week are going to give us that opportunity.
And I was going to say, it is what it is. You haven't always been in this position. Do the girls kind of take that on their shoulders now and say, hey, this is our league, or we're going to be a top seed in 5A West?
Yeah, they knew, that's one thing, we always have had the rivalry with Hayes. The girls have played each other during the summers. We've had some tough matchups. We knocked them out at Sub-State last year. So there's always that rivalry. And then when you throw Garden City in the mix, we always felt like we were on the brink of maybe getting a couple of games from them when they had Bree Manwarn pitching. But, now we've had a chance to kind of put ourselves in this position, and they do want to make a statement.
And what is it like just to have so many young kids? Because, gosh, you win the WAC with a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. What's that say to either the WAC and or Class 5A?
I think they're a little jealous right now. Who wouldn't be at this point? We have some great upperclassmen that have done some great things for us over the last several years. They've been leaders. They continue to be leaders, but then you throw into the mix these talented young girls, and it's a great place to be. And they like I mentioned, they have said it. They're a little jealous at this point, but as I mentioned, they've all been in those shoes before, so it's just our turn.
Lady Panther softball coach Carrie Minton, thanks for taking the time to join us on kind of an off day for us today. At Hayes tomorrow, 2 games at the Sports Complex in Great Bend on Thursday. Good luck.
Thank you.
More Sports Day after this.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Steve Webster, Mike Corson, Mike Hesher still in studio. It's a revolving door when we've got guests coming in and out. I was kind of concerned the green room is closed today. I don't know what's happening over there. Or is it open now?
I didn't even look. Carrie likes to hang out front.
Okay, all right. So we didn't have to worry about anybody getting ahead. That was a fun interview with Carrie Minton.
She's always very informative. I like it when I can ask a simple question and then let them explain it in detail. That's the preferred method.
That is the preferred method. So, what's Panther Track and Field doing this week?
Kind of weird because it's been a while since
Yeah,
they've been
that's
at the
right. They're all over. Okay.
KU relays, but so a lot of your top tier kids will be up in Lawrence on Friday and Saturday, and then I think the other ones are going to. It should be a pretty good meet. Bueller's always pretty tough, and if they're bringing in some of those area schools like McPherson and, gosh, I think Salinas, but of course Salinas Central will have its top dogs in Lawrence as well.
Okay, so no sports day tomorrow. Royals and White Sox will wrap up their 3-game series. That'll be at 12:30 tomorrow, and then on tomorrow night at 5:30, we'll have an NBA doubleheader: Miami at Philadelphia, Atlanta at Chicago. Tonight, the NBA playoffs getting underway at the LA Lakers at New Orleans, and Golden State at Sacramento. 5A baseball rankings, we were talking about those earlier. They came out. Great Bend at number 9. Blue Valley Southwest again at number 1, followed by Andover Central, Bishop Carroll, St. Thomas Aquinas, DeSoto, Mays South, Topeka Seaman, Hayes, Great Bend, and Spring Hill. And then, so after this weekend, Great Bend will play Spring Hill, Hayes, DeSoto, St. Thomas Aquinas. Let's see, McPherson, possibly today, and possibly Rose Hill, depends. So today they play Emporia, the only team that's on their schedule that's not ranked this week.
Rose Hill's kind of one of those fun teams as a 5A, kind of a Western-oriented place out here. We don't always think of Rose Hill. I believe they were number 1 overall in wrestling, which is crazy because there's some really good wrestlers out there. They've done some other good things. So Rose Hill.
Yeah, they're
number
number
1.
they're number 9 at 4A, but still, I mean, then you got McPherson, who's number 6 in Class 4A. Some teams we may see here later in the year at the 2-1A state baseball tournament. Valley Falls is currently number 1. Salina Sacred Heart, number 2. Mission Valley, number 3. I picked Pitt Colgan to win it.
They're going to say, where are they?
They're number 4. They're probably, probably 6 and 9 right now, 6 and 10. TMP jumped from number 10 to number 5 this week. Buckland South Central.
Really? The Red Ace Timberwolves.
Are they? They're the Timberwolves, right? Because we've got the. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Timberwolves. Centralia, and that's basically Centralia Frankfurt. Pleasant Ridge, Jefferson County North, and Oskaloosa. Well, obviously that's kind of tilted to the eastern side a little bit. So
Oskaloosa used to have a whale of a softball program, but when you hear Red Aces, what do you?
Buckland, man.
But it's a guy in an airplane? No, it's a pair of cards. So their basketball court is one of the cooler ones in the state with the 2 aces on the court.
You know, I got 17 there when I was a junior. I think they just had a circle on the floor.
With no three-point line.
With no three-point line. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a very important fact.
But did you shoot any long range that it would have?
Oh, I always did, yeah. When your dad's a coach, you can get away with taking bad shots.
It would have been 26 if they had a 3-point line.
Oh, I think so. I really do. 6A, Olathe West, Blue Valley West, Olathe East, Wichita Heights, Free State, Gardner Edgerton. So Hayes is going to play Gardner Edgerton. Mays 7th, Manhattan 8th, Lawrence 9, and Mill Valley number 10.
See,
and Ellsworth is ranked this week.
Nice.
Number 8 in Class 3A. It goes Bishop Ward, imagine that, Riverton, Santa Fe Trail, Humboldt, Wichita Trinity, Kingman/Norwich. So there must be a couple of good kids from Norwich to add them to the list, although Kingman and Norwich are in the same school district. Bet you didn't know that. Mulvane, number 7, Ellsworth, number 8, Sabetha, number 9, and Heston, number 10.
I will say Norwich once won the Class 1A girls state track and field title with 3 kids.
Their boys' team won it with 1.
They might have been able to win it.
Mike Tilson, yeah. The 100, the 200, and the 400. They scored 30 points in 1A back then. There was 1,000 schools in it, so yeah, they won it with 30 Mike Tilson won it with 30 points.
See, I always rail on the private schools based on the number of championships they win versus the publics. Be kind of curious to do a breakdown. Those Olathe teams or Mill Valley, was they 4 or 5 straight football titles? I don't know what happens in northeastern Kansas, but man, they Blue Valley Northwest basketball, just some unbelievable athletes coming out of there.
How do you keep track of the difference? I mean, so you want to wear your own, your hometown school on your jersey, but I mean, I remember when Shawnee Mission North was like the only Shawnee Mission school there was. There was Shawnee Mission North and Shawnee Mission West, and now they've gone into.
And Olathe West is a relatively new school. It pops right in there as a 6A, and they've done some tremendous things. Set the 4x8 state record on the girls' side, but they're cool though because they're the Owls.
So the Owls is a good mascot.
Great out.
They get an out.
But when you just look back, when I was growing up, it was all Western. Man, Liberal, Dodge City, Garden City, and now it's the powerhouses predominantly come from that northeast corner.
Yeah, there's not a lot of long road trips up there when you're playing in the Sunflower League and stuff like that.
You got 6A football when you got the 6A West bracket.
Yeah, when you're in the West and
when you got to go out to the burial grounds.
Yeah, Lawrence Free State. Yeah, there you go.
Going to Liberal.
All right, we're going to take our final break. We'll be back to wrap up the show after this.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Barton Community College enrollment days are back. Registration is now available for all sessions through July 24th. Make the enrollment process fun, fast, and simple. Reserve your spot to get everything set up for the fall semester in just one day. Visit with an academic and financial advisor, enroll in classes, take a tour of campus, and more. Visit enroll.bartonccc.edu to sign up.
All right, welcome back. Sports Day here. We have some breaking. So Harbaugh's hasn't bought a house out in San Diego, right?
Not yet. He hasn't had the opportunity to find a home out there in the rolling hills of Los Angeles. So he's slumming it, quote unquote, in an RV parked out front in like an RV park in front of the beachfront.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice looking RV. I'll tell you what. It's a pretty nice, like standard run of the line kind of RV. Looks like a pretty high dollar one. I'll tell you, his offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, that guy's staying on a 5-star hotel on wheels. I swear you open it up and it's like the top floor of the Hilton. I didn't know RVs got that nice.
Well, you have to talk to Matt Bright, because
he was the first person I showed, and he was actually kind of talking about how the one that Greg Roman's staying in, that's a top of the line RV. He was saying the one Harbaugh's in, that's kind of more the affordable kind of everyman. Like it's a good everyman's RV. The one Roman's in, that's a pretty sleek model RV from our resident camper expert, Matt Bright.
There's a lot of like RVs and campers and stuff, Hesh, that you try to sell on Trading Post. Why don't we get one here? I mean, we just put the Eagle logo on it and just go to state tournaments or just go out.
Send me in course on location.
Take the little Merlin with us and.
No, you guys got to work. I mean, you can't just stay out there all week, but I think you'd be great.
Do field reports.
Okay, let us know, Hesh. Next time we'll put that.
I will be on top of that.
Okay.
You just keep asking. The worst they can say is no.
Okay.
Trading Post will deliver.
All right, no show tomorrow. Back on Thursday. Royals baseball coming your way tomorrow at 12:30, 6 o'clock tonight, right here on KVGB.